You've probably heard some of your yoga teachers, if not all of them, say that breath is linked to movement. But do you know just how important breathing correctly in your yoga practice is? If you're breathing incorrectly, you can actually do harm to your body instead of helping it. So today on Yoga with Paige, we are going to dive into and explain when to inhale, when to exhale, when to suspend your breath, when it's okay to hold it, when it's not okay. We will talk about some of the benefits of finding some breath awareness, not even counting or changing your breath, just tuning in and being mindful to it. Breathing is an integral part of our yoga practice, and when practiced correctly, it helps support the movements in the asanas. It really helps create a harmony between the body and the mind and allows you to practice safely. When used incorrectly, it can inhibit your movements. You won't be able to reach your expression of the pose, and it can actually be kind of harmful to your body if you're giving it mixed signals and kind of contradicting yourself. Beginning with a very basic understanding of our lungs, we have two of them. They are housed by our rib cage, so they are right at the middle of your abdomen right here, and the diaphragm is right underneath. The diaphragm is kind of what controls your breath. It moves up and down to contract and expand, allowing yourself room to breathe as you inhale, and kind of contracting and releasing, relaxing on the exhale. So as you take a nice big inhale in, I know you can see the belly becoming big. As you draw air into the lungs, the diaphragm moves down, allowing a nice expansion of the chest. So your belly expands, the ribs and the sternum expand outwards, giving your lungs room to inflate and breathe. So on the contrary, when you exhale and release all of that air, we a lot of times use a cue to draw the navel into the spine. So you're visualizing that inward pull as you exhale. Your diaphragm is relaxing and it is moving back up. If you can kind of visualize that, maybe take one breath right now. Take the hands to the belly. Let it really inflate. Diaphragm is pressing down, lungs are inflating, and then exhale. Diaphragm is relaxing, moving back up. So we want to talk about the correct way to use your breath in your practice in conjunction with all of these different movements. And this way of breathing we should be using in all kinds of practices, every single type of yoga. It is really about the kind of movement you're making with your body, whether you are expanding your chest or compressing it. So on the inhales, we are opening the front body. So when you think of expanding your chest, think of breathing in. So this is all of your back bends as you raise the heart to the sky. When you raise your head up, a lot of times you're raising your chest with it as well, or if you're raising your arms above your head. So I'm going to give you a few quick little postures, an example for each of these that you would be inhaling. A small little back bend like cobra. We press through the mat and inhale. Lift the head and the chest. From your forward fold, this is an exhale. On your next in-breath, you would be lifting the head and the arms. So as we raise the head and the chest, you take a nice big breath in. And then on movements where you raise the arms up over the head, like in a little upward salute, big breath. So for inhaling, when we are expanding the front body, it only makes sense that we are exhaling when we are compressing the front body. So this is all of our twists, our forward folds, and our side bends. So we're exhaling in postures like seated twist. We inhale, and then we exhale on the twist. On side bends, exhale, still keeping the heart nice and lifted, and forward folds like staff pose. And it's easy to kind of remember exhales as releasing. So you're exhaling, you're releasing the air from your body, and you're also kind of releasing into the pose. I feel like that's how I kind of made sense of it when I was first going through my yoga teacher training and learning how to move with the breath, I always thought of release and then inhale. You're taking it all in, you're lifting up, you're opening. I mean, whatever kind of little things work for you. But the more you practice, the more this will kind of just become ingrained into your body, and you will realize that it naturally makes sense. And if you were to say twist on an inhale, you won't be able to go as far because you are effectively expanding through your chest with your breath, but then contradicting yourself with your movements by twisting. And this is actually where the harmfulness can come in. If you continue to practice this way, you are not working in harmony with your body. You're really working against it, sending it all these mixed signals, and you will not get the sense of release and calm, serenity that you would if you were practicing in conjunction with your breath. And then we also have suspension of breath. Usually after an inhalation, there is a natural stopping point where you just can't go anymore. But if you are holding the posture, you can hold your breath. As long as you're not moving, this is safe for your body to kind of keep the effects of the inhalation going. You extend the effects in the body of the inhalation by holding your breath right after your stopping point. The same can be said when you're exhaling. You can extend your exhalation by pausing and suspending your breath. But the opposite is true as with the inhalations. You can move when you're holding your breath on the exhale because your lungs, your abdomen is a little bit more relaxed and you won't be resisting any sort of movement. You're not holding in your breath. You're emptied out, so you can kind of freely move. And honestly, I invite you to try. If you're sitting somewhere where you can try that, inhale, hold your breath, and then try. It's just not comfortable. It's just not comfortable at all. And if you have no breath in your body and you're holding your breath, it's just a lot easier to move. I mean, it all makes sense, right? As we are developing our yoga practice and practicing moving with our breath at our own natural pace, this can be used as a great guide for your practice. So the breath is an awesome tool to let you know if you've kind of moved too far, which is not a bad thing. I'm all about challenging yourself, trying things that maybe you think you can't do, see how it goes. But at the moment that you are not able to breathe easily, as soon as it becomes strained or tense, then you've gone a little bit too far, and that's okay. You can just dial it back to the point where you can breathe nice and easy again, and then we will work towards getting to that point a little bit later. Because the goal of every asana or yoga pose is to find the most comfortability for yourself in that posture. So the moment that we can't breathe anymore, the goal of the yoga pose is just defeated. And if it doesn't feel good, then why are we even practicing, right? So it is a great guide to let you know where your stopping point is and can also serve as a nice little reminder to come back into the present moment. A lot of times I say to use your breath as your anchor to bring yourself back. It's always there. You can always tap back into it when you see yourself or feel yourself. Your mind starts wandering, ruminating. Pause, feel the breath, let it draw you back in. So now we can go through a few benefits of mindful breathing. These benefits are not only yoga specific. These benefits are for whenever you have mindful breathing, even if you're sitting at your work desk and you take a few minutes to just center yourself and focus on your breath, you can receive these benefits. And when we talk about what benefits there are of mindful breathing, we should really be talking about the non-benefits of mindful breathing, because that would probably be a shorter list. Mindful breathing reduces your cortisol levels by activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest system, the opposite of your fight and flight. So it tells your body as you breathe, it tells your body that everything is okay. Because when you're stressed out, when you're anxious, your heart rate kind of naturally speeds up, as does your breathing pattern. Everything mirrors each other. So when you effectively calm your breath down and find a nice steady rhythm, it is a signal to your body, to your brain, that everything is a-okay. You can kind of return back to a nice normal balance, Current studies on mindful breathing research suggests that it helps improve your sleep, your mood, your blood pressure, your concentration, your metabolism and digestion systems, respiratory function as you inflate and deflate those lungs, nervous system regulation, and can even change your biochemistry. This can lead to a reduction of those free radicals we were discussing last week on our grounding video. There are a lot of different pranayama and breathing techniques. We are not going to get into those at this very moment, but different forms of breathing, different styles, types, lengths that you hold your breath, things like that, can help with various different things. Anxiety, stress, depression, PTSD, even trauma, chronic pain, difficulties focusing and concentrating. So depending on what you need, there are different ways to activate those systems and change yourself from the inside out. The breath is a wonderful tool that can help you in so many ways, and I hope this helped maybe clear up any questions you might have about when or how to breathe during your yoga practice. And please let me know if you still have any questions or any thoughts that you would like me to hear. Leave those down below. I'm interested to hear your experiences on breathing. I know when I first started my yoga journey, I always thought it was kind of not silly, but a little like woo-woo, yeah, breathing, breath. And it took me a while. It took me, I would say, almost the first year. I didn't really tap into it as much. But lately, my mindfulness and meditation practices have been taking off way more than just sticking with the asana. So it does take time to kind of integrate all of this knowledge and all of these things, but that's why we call it a yoga practice, not yoga perfection, right? I will leave some links down below in the description for a few gentle guided meditation classes and classes that have pranayama techniques if you want to start practicing some different techniques. And I would love to practice with you on the mat. We can work together on integrating this union of body, breath, mind, and movement, all good things. So thank you again for tuning in. It is lovely to be here and to see you. And until I see you next time, have a great, beautiful rest of your day. And take a nice deep breath right now, maybe 3.